Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing the end of year tarot tag put out by Spirited Stardust. Such a fun tag. I've been really looking forward to doing this. I know I've already put out quite a lot of end of year content, but I had to do this. I had to do it. And so I can't remember, I watched the original video so long ago, so I don't quite remember if the purpose was to kind of be decks you brought in during this year. I don't think so. I don't know. Regardless, but since I just did that with my top 5 tarot and oracle, I'm leaving this open to just any deck, because I think that'd be fun. So let's get right into it. We've got 11 prompts here, starting with the deck you use the most this year. And are we any ounce surprised? Woodland Wardens. I had a lot of decks that I felt like I really just went back to time and time again this year. I really did almost choose the Oracle of the Roses, but if we're thinking truly what I used the most throughout the whole year, it has to be this one, because I've had this the whole year. I got the Oracle of the Roses during the springtime, I want to say, and used it all spring and summer, but haven't used it much since. Where this deck is an all-season, year-round, all-purpose deck for me. I think it's so fantastic, so just universal. I really do think this is probably one of my top animal decks, because it just, I love the animals showcased in it, I love the keywords we're given, I love the plant pairing, and just the general aesthetic of it matches with so many of my decks. And I love it to the point that I do have 2 copies. This is my untouched one, but let me get my trimmed copy. So this is my original copy here that I trimmed all of the borders off to take it down to just the inside, and I love this copy. But an accomplishment of 2023 was that I learned to riffle shuffle, and so I'm finding a lot of the decks I previously, oh my gosh, matching. Oh, that's interesting. Don't they seem kind of differently colored? Huh. Look at that. I've never looked at them side by side before, but this coloring is much brighter. Cool. So look at that. They are kind of different. A lot of the decks that I previously trimmed when I just was hand over hand shuffling, I don't know, I found I wasn't leaning to use them because of how much I enjoy riffle shuffling now. So there are a few that I've repurchased where it's like, I cannot riffle shuffle it because I don't measure, and I won't. I shan't. But I do still utilize both of these. A lot of the times I do still really like how this looks borderless, and so a lot of times I will be very extra and shuffle with this deck, pull the card, and then pull it out of this one for like any kind of pictures and stuff, because I do like the way that looks. But by far my most used deck for the whole year, Woodland Wardens. Okay. Oh, next is a deck that you didn't use at all. And this was actually really tough to find because, and I was pleasantly surprised to be looking around at all my decks and to see, like, okay, in one way or another though, I do remember using everything I've got here. Even if it just was like, okay, I know I just used that for one reading, still used it. But I did find one. I found one that I truly have not used, haven't even really looked at, and it's the Mythic Tarot, the new version. Now, I did not buy this one. This was one, I think I've said before, it's one new one with the purple backs. I don't remember the story, but there was somehow, some way that Andy ended up with 2 copies, so she sent one to me, which was very nice. And I think I really only mildly looked through it. I must have shuffled it. Barely. But I don't know. I don't know. I have to really look at this one, look at the guidebook, but for some reason, it doesn't interest me, which is interesting because I am having a Greek mythology moment, for sure. Have been for the last... I really got into it with getting Thea's Hellenic Oracle, but for some reason, I don't know. This tarot just has not even slightly grabbed my attention, and I think it just might be because it's in tarot form. We'll see. I did order the new Odyssean tarot, and I'm curious to kind of do a bit of a compare and contrast, because this does come with a giant book. And I know people really do like this one. So it's not in purgatory by any means, because I truly haven't given it any sort of chance. But oh, I do love this card for the High Priestess though, Persephone. That's so good. I felt just a 0% pull to really do anything with this year for some reason. I don't know why. I just, even looking at it now, I'm like, no. So we'll see. I'm gonna look at the book. I think the book will maybe give me some more, at least insight. But that is the Mythic Tarot. The deck I didn't use at all this year. Okay, our next, messed that up. Next question is the newest addition to your collection, and that for me is one that came in just like 2 days ago. I don't know. It's that week between Christmas and New Year's right now. Time is a construct, truly, right now. But anyway, my newest addition, I'm so excited about it, is a Kickstarter, right? Gosh. Yes, that came in. The Stardust Wanderer Tarot. So this is a space pirate. Space pirate tarot. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Immediately yes for me. So it has this like really fun sparkly gilding it's not sharp. Look at all this. Oh my gosh. So what really drew me to this deck, of course, I mean space pirates. Let's be real. Space pirates. That's enough said. But I love the art style. But also, throughout the deck, we're following the journey of this fool, who I can't remember her name, but I just love that we have this, at least female presenting, I haven't gotten into the book, space pirate, as our main character, and we follow her journey through this whole deck, and I think it's really interesting when decks do that, and I think something like this, where it clearly is very fantasy, very story-driven, it makes a lot of sense to kind of give us this whole story behind it. But beyond that, oh my gosh, is it so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And now, usually kind of spacey things aren't my thing, but I love pirates, really do. I've had an interesting fascination with them since I was little. I used to have this really cool book about pirates. I remember I would watch gosh, not to say this is like a solely neurodivergent thing, but the fact that just it went unnoticed with some memories I have, I'm like, wow. Because I used to watch the History Channel every morning before the bus came, and this, like, elementary school, I was just watching the History Channel, free reign to do that, and there was always specials on pirates in the morning. And they were so good. Some things, because, you know, it was about, like, true pirates, scary. Probably shouldn't have been watching it, but, you know, I still liked it. I love, you know, real pirates, I don't know much, but, like, fantasy pirates, yes. So I'm really, really excited about this one. Excited to really use it. I've not even really used it yet. I think this is going to be in a deck speed dating, because I really want to play around with some pairings for this one. I think that'd be really fun. So that is the Stardust Wanderer Tarot. My newest edition. Okay. Ooh, next is a deck you put into purgatory, and if you followed along with my collection videos, the many collection videos I did throughout the month of December, this might not be surprising. I actually did not put tons into like a let's think about this pile, which was kind of cool to see that like a lot of what I have I just really like. But one of the ones that did end up in that purgatory pile is the Tarot of Plants, and I don't know, I think this is one I was kind of hesitant from the get-go before I even bought it, because it is in this watercolor style that I don't usually tend to like that much, just aesthetically for some reason. But I got it because I was really just intrigued by having another plant-themed tarot, and it showcases some different plants than, like I have Herb Crafters, which is a plant tarot I really like. But this one, again, it just had some different things. I was just kind of curious to see it while I was in my gardening journey this summer. I brought in quite a few plant decks for sure, because I just want to check them out. And this fell in that category, but unfortunately, I think it just kind of fell flat for me. I don't know, it doesn't excite me to use. I did give it a chance, and it just, I don't know, never really got me excited. Even though I can appreciate that the artwork is really beautiful, I think it's just, a lot of the times watercolor tends not to be for me. But I wanted to give it a chance because, like with the Ciolo Thompson oracles, there is some wiggle room for me there, because I do like those. But yes, that is one that ended up in, and I don't really like the backs. They're kind of like these digitally sketched. It just doesn't make that much sense to me. But yes, that is one that ended up in purgatory. That is the Tarot of Plants. Okay. Ooh, favorite pairing. Oh my gosh, I forgot to grab like so many of the decks I need. Hold on. Okay, my favorite pairing from this year is one that I did actually discover in one of my earlier deck speed dating videos, and that is the Compendium of Witches with the Soul Cats Tarot. This one has remained so exciting to me, like since I discovered it months ago. Now, how I like to work with the Compendium of Witches is I have the kind of object cards and the witches broken up into two separate piles, and I like pulling one from each. So we're gonna see if I think we're gonna fit everything here. But the art styles on these decks just pair. Can we get it? Just about. That works. So magically. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at that. And I love the idea of getting kind of the people and object cards here, and then it feels like we have these cats as the witches' magical companions. And so just thematically, ooh, I'm combining piles. No, okay. Thematically, aesthetically, like the colors go so well together. Everything about these decks together just works and makes me so excited to use the both of them, which I think is something really special, because these are both decks that, while I really enjoyed them, I tended to not, I don't know, pick them up a lot. But once they kind of found each other, I use them all the time, and they really have become quite the bonded pair, you could say. Where, oh, look at this, like the explorer here with these real sort of like, we've got the globe here and these packed up crates there with the magnifying glass. Oh my gosh, it's just magical. It's not even a way where I feel like they have to be used together. It's just whenever I pick up one, I want to pick up the other. Because I just really, really love how they read together. It's so beautiful. Look at that. I could look at that all day. It's so, oh my gosh, how beautiful is that? So that is by far my favorite pairing discovered this year, and that is the Compendium of Witches Oracle with the Soul Cats Tarot. Now let me just pack these up in the right way. Okay, okay. We won't tie that all together just now. Alright. And what even is next? Ooh, okay, the next question is your favorite mod or favorite bag made. And since I am a bag maker, that's what I went with, because besides like edging decks and colors and stuff, like I said, with the riffle shuffling, I really tend not to do much deck trimming anymore unless it's just, and also like combined with that, I've just really grown to like borders. So there's really only select things I would trim, you know what I mean? Anyway, but I've made a lot of bags for myself, and I have two. I'm not sorry about it. I'm showing two, okay? Because they're different styles and whatever. So I'm pretty sure I made this year anyway, but this is my bag for the Future Ancestors Tarot. And this was kind of just an experiment I was doing with making zipper bags, which I kind of forgot I could do. So I haven't made one in quite some time, but I really like how it fits this deck. Let me pull out some cards so you can see. This purple kind of lavender color is really relaxing to me. And then I crocheted these leaves to put on the front because we see a lot of green leaves. Of course, I'm not pulling out any that show it. Yeah, see these green leaves a lot in this deck. I'm just really proud of this bag, and it's, now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, I need to make some more zipper bags because I do really like how it came out. And it's just fun to do and have something a little different. So that is my first favorite, but my probably most, maybe favorite in a different way, is the bag I made for my newest edition of the Northern Animal Tarot. So the reason this is a favorite, this is a very kind of standard bag I usually make. Usually it is this drawstring style, so it's not necessarily special in that way. I do like the charms I picked though, slay. But this yarn was the first time I ever dyed my own yarn, and I did a natural dye with a bunch of flowers I collected and dried from my garden. So the color here and just this bag itself is like an amalgamation of so much of the gardening I did this summer and like starting my own garden. And so it's just really cool in that way. And I knew I tend to not really use, the way I can tell what's in each bag is I don't really repeat yarn much between my decks unless it's kind of like my usual acrylic yarn, and I'll like switch around the coloring and stuff. But with the hand-dyed yarn, I kind of stick to using it for one deck in my collection. But I knew when I dyed this yarn that something special had to go in it, and it just so perfectly went with my favorite tarot, the Northern Animal. And around the same time I dyed this yarn, I got in the latest third linen edition that I think is probably my favorite so far, and it makes the deck so usable on this cardstock and so vibrant, and I just love it, and I love how the bag came out and just all that it represents. So those are my favorite bags I made this year for certain. Okay, number 7 is what deck do you want for Christmas or as a gift? Now, Christmas has already passed, and while I do just always have an ongoing kind of wish list, I thought it'd be fun to just show something instead. And I did get a deck for Christmas from Paul. He pre-ordered for me the Pip Speak Tarot. Oh my gosh, I've been so excited about this since Zara from Kitten Chops has started showing it. I was like, yep, I'm gonna need that. So it is a Marseille deck from the same creator as the Playful Heart Tarot, which is one of my absolute favorites. And so the pre-order for this went up sometime in November. And so, like I said, as a Christmas gift, Paul pre-ordered it for me. And it came in so quick, I couldn't believe it, like early December, but I was good. I didn't open it until around Christmas. When we opened our presents together. I waited. I waited because I knew it would feel more special, and oh my gosh, is this deck so much fun. I have been really enjoying Pip decks and Marseille style decks lately, but this takes it to a whole other level of just fun and interesting and capturing my attention. And I'm so, look at this green color for the pentacles. I love the colors, and in the little guide she does explain the color choice, and what I thought was so cool is for each of the minors there's a plant pairing, which could be standard in Marseille. I don't really know too much, but either way I love that it's explained. I think it's so neat, and just there's all this like metallic foil detail. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. So I'm really, really excited to get into this one. So that is the Pip Speak Tarot. Okay. A deck you'd gift to others. Now this is one I did get in this year, and for me, something I would readily gift to others is the Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle. I chose this because I feel like this would be a good gift for both regular, or by regular I mean like people who regularly read tarot and people who know nothing about it. I think really anyone could use this deck, understand the concept of this deck, enjoy this deck. I think it's just, I don't know, it's just a really good tool no matter how someone sees it or wants to use it. It is, like it suggests, a deck for kind of healing themes, and what I really like about it is you get this key phrase, but in the guidebook you get journaling prompts. And I think what makes that so universal is since I like reading tarot, it's a hobby of mine, I use those questions often as a tarot spread. But if I were gifting this to a friend who doesn't read tarot, they really could just use it as thought prompts, or like it's meant as journal prompts. I just think it's a good tool to really just get anyone thinking, if that's something they want to do. Like, to me it's sort of like an affirmation deck. I've gifted affirmation decks to friends of mine who don't read tarot at all. It's just, it feels like something universal in that way. So that is the Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle. Okay. Number 9 is a deck you fell in love with this year, and that for sure is the Golden Tarot. Oh my gosh, the absolute love affair I've had with this deck this year. I originally had, Andy gifted me her original edition of it that she had trimmed down, so in the kind of first glossy cardstock. And I immediately was obsessed with it. I just think this deck is so fun. I love the collaged images. I love the guidebook. It just has such a distinct personality to it that I just really get along with. I love medieval artwork. I love the golden, warm tones of this. It just, everything about it is something I like. And then when it came out in this linen cardstock, oh, immediate buy. Immediate buy. And it's so good. It's so good. And I love the borders on it. The one Andy had, she cut the borders off of, which was really cool too, but I do really like it in this linen finish with the borders, and it pairs with a lot of different things I have. I get excited to use it. It's not one I ever thought I would have just completely been head over heels for, but this was one that from the jump, I just immediately fell in love with it. So, that is the deck I fell in love with this year, and that is the Golden Tarot. Okay, we're down to our last two prompts, which are just showing cards. So, number 10 is what card best describes this year, and I'm going to use my card of the year, which is the one you can like calculate based on your birthday, things of that sort. And mine for this year was Temperance. I'm using the Faerie Tarot, this one, just because I have it out because I want to edge it. I was watching Sylvie from Tarot Magpie's tag, or video for this tag, and this was her favorite mod she did, and she edged every card in a color to match the border, and oh my god, so fun. So fun, so I want to do that. So that's what we're using, because that's what is just next to me right now. But I do also, this was a deck that I really did also kind of fall in love with this year, but it just happened more towards the end of the year. Anyways, regardless, a card to best describe this year, I think Temperance as my card of the year it really ended up playing out just so true. Like, it really did feel like a Temperance year this year. There was a lot of kind of balancing out I needed to do, harmonizing of things, alchemizing of things, sort of taking different aspects of my life and integrating them into one thing. It was a really big year of self-discovery in that way, but also a really big year of learning better boundaries when it comes to other people, when it comes to the things I want to be doing, my energy levels. Really, I think the phrase that really sums up this year is just learning to meet myself where I'm at, and I think that is a theme you can see in the Temperance card, of meeting yourself where you're at, of just kind of taking stock of things in your life and balancing that, combining them where and how you can to just create more ease. And that was a big thing I really learned about this year. And so, the last question is a card for the upcoming year. Now, this was meant to be like a shuffle and a pull, but going with this theme, I'm just going to show my card for next year, which is the Devil. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm not nervous about it. The Devil is actually my birth card, numerologically, and so it's just kind of, in a way, it's almost comforting, because it's a theme that I am familiar with. And following Temperance, it felt like I really more so learned about balancing, creating more ease for myself, boundaries this year. But this coming year, I already know it's probably going to be pretty heavily about, okay, now put it into action. Now let's look at the kind of toxic behaviors within myself or externally that kind of stop me from doing what I need to do, fulfilling any sort of needs I have, and again, meeting myself where I'm at. So I think that makes sense for the year ahead, and I'm excited to see how this plays out, and I do love this Devil card. It's just fun. So that was the last question, so all I have for you today. I will link the original video below from Spirited Stardust, which was so fun to watch. But other than that, I hope you're all having a wonderful end to your year. and I'll see you again very soon.